On October 25, 2012, joined by state leaders from across the political spectrum and stakeholders from across the criminal justice system, Pennsylvania Governor Tom Corbett enacted legislation to increase public safety and save hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars. The event took place at the Law Enforcement Training Unit at the Harrisburg Area Community College in Pennsylvania. Council of State Governments Justice Center staff, in partnership with the Pew Center on the States and the U.S. Department of Justice Bureau of Justice Assistance, provided 10 months of intensive technical assistance to Pennsylvania using a data-driven justice reinvestment approach.
If you're getting a public safety feel, good, because that's really what this administration is about, and that's really what these bills are about. When you look around the room and you see counties, and you see law enforcement, and you see the prison society and other advocacy groups, this is the right way to do it.
What's interesting about this legislation, among all the other things, is it's bipartisan. This one demonstrates that we can all work together on issues that we see, and not only within the legislature, but outside the legislature. And I believe, as you well know, I'm pretty tough. Criminals should be punished. But as a society, we cannot believe in justice unless we balance that punishment with rehabilitation. And that's why I'm here today to sign the bills. It tells us that the answer isn't always to build bigger prisons. Sometimes the answer lies in smarter solutions that help us build fewer prisons and better communities. We enacted this package of legislation first and foremost with an eye towards reducing crime, cutting down on the number of people who return to our prison system, cutting down on that revolving door. Still, another aspect of this effort is funding for innovative policing. There can be no justice without well-trained, certified, and continually educated law enforcement officers in my mind. But equally as important, we will be setting aside funds to provide help to victim service organizations, as well as our statewide victim notification system. We must never forget that justice begins with the victims. I hope that today will be remembered as the beginning of a new direction in corrections for Pennsylvania. We need to chart a course that allows justice and mercy to travel together and to seek a better state. Thank you all very much.
Everyone realizes something had to be done with our correctional system, that the costs continue to skyrocket, the populations continue to skyrocket, that we had to do something to be fiscally responsible for the taxpayers of the Commonwealth, but at the same time protect public safety, which is always of paramount importance to us as district attorneys.
Justice Reinvestment was the perfect vehicle to do that. Got everybody around the table, had meaningful, real discussions on shortcomings with our system and opportunities in our system to improve it in a public manner. So there was no surprises. And because of the process, we were able to move it through from the first meeting in January till the first piece was passed in June, which is great. You know, usually things move a little slower here.
One of the things that, as a victim advocate, I often find difficult in working in these kinds of environments is that we tend to have to fight our way to the table. That did not happen in this situation. It was very much understanding that all of those stakeholders, including victims and victim services, was important.
They were recommendations and procedures, innovations that have been tried in other states with noticeable, traceable results. And I think it was the credibility of the numbers that came along with these proposals that made them really irrefutable when it came to the committee consideration and ultimately the floor consideration of this legislation.
We were really fighting for this for years, actually, and getting pieces done of it. But when the governor got involved and the Council of State Governments got involved, all of a sudden we had statistical information to back up what we were doing.
You can accomplish things in a whole variety of different ways, but when you have the state government focused with a governor who is willing to personally take on this issue, and he came to the first working group and presented kind of his goals and what he was looking for with a timeline and a set of goals, and basically said, this is what we need to accomplish. We need to have a set of policies that are going to cut the corrections costs, but improve public safety and hold offenders accountable.
It's a positive focus. It's a focus to make our community stronger, to make individuals to become more productive, and that's what we're striving to do.
I know Pennsylvania was a hard nut to crack, but you crack this nut, then any state can do this. But they need your help.